my left, the beautiful, talented, intelligent Kimberley A. Martin. Great to see you, sir. RC, it's been a minute, and Stephen A. Smith.
Hey,
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm
We
good.
in the house. How y'all doing? Everybody's all right?
Oh, no.
Ryan,
I could already see.
Ryan, is that not the same colored shirt
I'm
you
glad
had on
somebody
yesterday?
said it. I'm glad somebody said
Is that
it.
not the same colored shirt you
Yeah,
had on?
it's actually
He's probably
it's
traveling.
actually the same exact shirt. I have like 6 of them, and I'm gonna wear them. I've decided that I'm going to wear them every time I do TV away from studio. I am trying to take the thought out of things that are mundane, Stephen A. And so when I'm away, I'm gonna wear a black shirt like this. It's made out of dry fit, by the way. And I want to tell you this though, Stephen A.
Can't you get a few colors?
Let me tell you this to Stephen A. and Kimberley Martin. Kimberley Martin, we have a saying in New Orleans, and it says, if you grin, you in. And since you had something to say, I'm going to say this to everybody who got something to say. You know Stephen A. and you know Kimberley Martin, that when Ryan Clark, yes, I'm talking in the third person, makes a decision to come with it, can't neither one of y'all do nothing with me. So when I'm away and I'm comfortable and I'm wearing my shirt, y'all just chill.
All right, hold on, Dick Tracy. Watch your mouth, Dick Tracy. Now, watch your mouth, that yellow suit that you rocked last year. I mean, that was fly. You stepped out. You stepped out. It was fly. It was fly. It was fly.
Stephen A., you can say anything you want. You know what's crazy? And I have people now, while I'm out in public, because you have learned to dress a little better, that say you started dressing better because of me.
Ooh, wow.
They now think that you have stepped your game up because every Monday morning you had to sit across from me and reevaluate yourself. You're welcome, Stephen A.
It's not what you deserve. I think he deserves what running backs want is the average $15 million salary. I think he deserves something close to that. He's not getting it, but in the same breath, 11 is nothing to sneeze at. It's better than being empty-handed, particularly in this economy, because you know I pay attention to all of that other stuff. You understand? Inflation, recession, all of that other stuff.
It's a tough time.
Keep your money. Keep your money coming, okay? So he did the right thing. I think he made the right decision.
It's better than nothing. You sound like you work for the Giants right now. So here's the thing. I love it for the Giants. I love this deal for Daniel Jones.
Here is what the New York Giants did. The New York Giants put their century of football up against the uncertainty of how long Saquon Barkley can play football at the running back position. They put their big bank up against Saquon Barkley's little bank and said, are you going to walk away from $10 million? Are you going to forego an opportunity to put that money in the bank and have it make money for you? They put that up against his character. Saquon Barkley wanting to be the good guy. Saquon Barkley wanting to be the leader, wanting to be there in the locker room for his fellow teammates. They put all of that up against Saquon Barkley saying, I'm going to stand up for the running back position as a whole. And I said this when Kimberly brought up the call yesterday. I said it when Kimberly talked about the call on Get Up. They were just talking. It was a therapy session to share your thoughts. And I'm not saying that in a negative way, because the only way you leave that call with a solution is if people who have an opportunity to make $10 million plus forego that for the next guy. Because Saquon Barkley, if he stayed at home, he would never benefit from it. Josh Jacobs, if he stayed at home, he would never benefit from it. Le'Veon Bell, when he stayed at home, he didn't benefit from it. But if they all made a decision, none of us are playing on the franchise tag. Even if you sign it, go in the building, and that way you can get your $10 million and you just don't play. If none of us play on that tag, then they'll stop doing it, or they'll make a change to the rule. But in order to do that, you have to forego your now for someone else's future. And that's very hard to do. And the entirety of the NFL has been the NFL and its owners banking on players not foregoing their right now. And unfortunately for Saquon, who made the right decision for him, it's a bad decision, or it hurts the running back position going forward.
Well, listen, the bottom line is this. We can't even say it's a bad decision, because the reality is the only way that it would have been a bad decision is if the collective whole had come together and said, we're unified and this is the stance that we're going to take. We're going to follow that 125 NFL players, all right, currently have an average annual contract of $15 million per year. 2 of them are running backs: Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara. That is it. Offensive players with average annual contract worth at least $15 million by position: 22 wide receivers, 22 offensive tackles, 17 quarterbacks, 7 guards, 2 tight ends, 2 running backs. That's what you're dealing with here. It's not something that's normal. What they were pursuing, what Josh Jacobs was pursuing, what Saquon Barkley is pursuing, the reality of the situation is that it is an anomaly, an aberration. Most running backs don't get that. So what we really, really need to do at some point in time, and RC, you're a perfect person to ask this question to, is Christian McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara, we know can ball. We also know Saquon Barkley can ball. We also know Josh Jacobs can ball.
Yep.
We also know Derrick Henry can ball. We know these guys can ball. So what is it about Christian McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara that enabled them to get what nobody else playing their position in the entire NFL has gotten? RC, I'll let you answer that question first, and then I want to hear from you.
So I don't have an answer to that question, right? Because life is about what people will pay you. Mbappe is going to get $776 million because someone is willing to pay him that much money to kick that little black and white ball around.
Right. That's right. Okay.
But my point, the point is this. I think that's why it's so important to note that Saquon Barkley doesn't get it. Because Saquon Barkley is on the level of Alvin Kamara and Christian McCaffrey. Alvin Kamara and Christian McCaffrey are running backs who are also used in the passing game based on what Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts got. This is not happening for the running back position, which makes sense if you're Tony Pollard. It does not make sense if you're Saquon Barkley. It does not make sense if you're Josh Jacobs, which is why I believe those 2 contracts not being fulfilled, or those 2 contracts not being able to be worked out, is a bigger problem for the running back position based on the Alvin Kamaras and the Christian McCaffreys.
I'm not sure what the Dear Abby reference was, but
Yeah.
dear reader, here's the deal. When you say this isn't a bad deal for Saquon, what did Saquon want? He wanted fair compensation. He wanted a multi-year deal. He wanted security. Does he have those things right now? So that point blank period is why I say this is not a good deal for him. And your question, Stephen, about the CMC and the Alvin Kamara, when you look at the deals that Zeke got, you look at the deal that Kamara got, and CMC was traded. He got paid, but he still ended up on a different team. Worked out for him because he's in San Francisco. Le'Veon. There are examples of running back deals in the past that teams now are pointing to, like, you know what? All that money paid out to that guy? And what did it get us? And because of that, because of past history, you have now a Saquon in a situation where he can't. You better stop smirking at me. You better stop smirking at me. What are you about to say? What are you about to say?
I think Ryan Clark. I mean, I know we gonna have a wardrobe battle when the season starts. It's cool.
You know
It's cool.
That ain't no battle, bro.
There's no battle.
It's cool. Watch.
Okay.
That's all I got to
That ain't
say.
no battle.
Watch.
Okay.
Watch. Y'all see.
That ain't no
Let me know
battle.
when I
Please.
can
You
speak.
still hung up on.
That's all right. That's not where I was going, though. But I
Rock
think
on Easter.
His feelings hurt.
on the subject of negotiations, I think it's safe to say I might know a little thing or 2 about that. So
Hell yeah, you do.
thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.